Hello, my beautiful lady gardens, and welcome back to episode 3, season 2 of High Tea with Lady V, the podcast where we sip the truth, spill the tea, and talk all things women's health, skin, hormones, and how not to totally lose our shit whilst navigating acts 2 and 3 of our lives. Perimenopause and menopause, and what the actual fuck it is doing to our skin. And hasn't this podcast been a head fuck, ladies? Third time lucky, and I'm recording it in my car because I'm on the road so much and barely at home for the next 3 months because I'm realizing my children's dreams of ski racing in a country that wasn't built for snow and the nearest mountains are 7 hours away. Why couldn't they pick freaking tennis? But enough of my sob story. That's tiny little violins playing in the background there. It's the question I get asked in clinic nearly every damn day. Women are desperate for answers. How have we gone from glowing beacons of youth to, well, let's say not so glowing beacons of youth? And honestly, most of us are saying the same thing. It's happened overnight. Like 1 minute we are luminous, and the next we feel like a dehydrated prune with no jawline. The hormonal change and how it fucks with our faces, ladies. After years in skin, health and aesthetics, I have seen firsthand how hormonal shifts, especially during perimenopause and menopause, mess with our skin, our confidence, and our bloody sanity. Ladies, let's be real. We are so over the anti-aging fluff that we are being sold to by skincare companies. Promises of miracle serums and eternal glows all wrapped in a shiny package, or promised rejuvenation treatments and how it's going to give us a facelift, or the glowing effects of Botox. But fuck, do I love some Botox. Let's be clear about that. I also do love skincare, facial serums and treatments, but when they are done right and when they are needed. There is a $1 billion market out there in Australia alone, and we are being led to believe that the next super cream is going to give us an instant facelift, but trust me, ladies, it is not going to save us. Fuck, I know. Stop listening now because it's all freaking downhill from here. Or is it? So let's get real talk, real education on why your face didn't betray you, your hormones have. So why are we all so lost, you ask? Well, this might be a start. While researching for a presentation I did recently on menopause and the skin, I went to a trusted skin source to cross my T's and dot my I's. I looked up perimenopausal skin on the Australasian College of Dermatologists A to Z of Skin. And here's what it said. Perimenopause means around menopause and refers to the time during which your body makes the natural transition to menopause, marking the end of the reproductive years. Well, fuck, don't they make that sound easy? And quote, perimenopause and menopause can lead to skin changes, end quote. That really cleared it up for me. To be fair, there was a downloadable PDF. It told me how to cleanse, moisturize, and apply sunscreen. Groundbreaking, really. So this could be one of the reasons we're so freaking confused. The leading dermatology website in Australia can't give us a valid answer, so I digged further. I know from my knowledge what happens, but we have to reference these things, right? Especially when presenting to doctors. I needed to make myself somewhat intelligent with some big technical words that really I can't pronounce anyway. So here's what I know and what we need to be aware of as we age. And you'll totally understand now why I harp on about hyaluronic acid. Ladies, there are 5 key processes that underpin skin aging that I doubt you have ever been told of. L'Oreal ads are definitely not educating us there. These are really important when understanding perimenopausal and menopausal skin, and I'm going to explain them in plain English so we all know what the F I'm talking about. Number 1, Transepidermal water loss increases with age, which basically means more water is leaving the skin. And as you guessed, that's not a good thing. Then we have number 2, hyaluronic acid. The natural hyaluronic acid in our skin decreases with age. And HA freaking loves water. It's hydrophilic. It loves to bind to water molecules. It's also what filler is made of, and what filler was designed to do was to restore the loss of HA in the skin and essentially increase volume. Now, I don't push a lot of filler in my clinic, but the results it gives to the integrity of the skin can be astonishing. So we are losing more water from our skin, and the HA molecules that bind to water are pissing off too. But stay with me. Number 3, we have a decrease in cellular turnover. In our 20s, our skin cells are cycling at around 28 days. By 50, it could take up to 50 days for new skin cells to appear on our skin. And for more mature skin, it can take up to 90 days. So ladies, time to bathe in retinol and tretinoin, and I'll explain why later. Number 4, collagen and elastin decline. They are basically checking the fuck out. And number 5, bone reabsorption and fat pad descent. Yep, bones start to eat themselves and you start to welcome those freaking jowls. So they are the 5 main structural events that occur within the skin as we move into Act 2 of our existence. And then, ladies, then there's inflammation. If you don't know, perimenopause is considered an inflammatory event, and we all know what inflammation does. Nope? Well, let me tell you, inflammation in the context of menopause and skin and in general is basically your body's internal drama queen. It's meant to protect you, but when left unchecked, it can go full-blown Real Housewives of the immune system. Here's what inflammation can do to our bodies. It breaks down collagen and elastin, 2 of your skin's besties for firmness and bounce. Chronic inflammation speeds up the degradation, so think sagging, wrinkling, and thinning skin. It impairs skin barrier function, leading to sensitivity, redness, flaking, and increased transepidermal water loss. It triggers or worsens skin conditions such as acne, rosacea, dermatitis, psoriasis. Perimenopause is already an inflammatory state, so it just throws more fuel on the hormonal fire. It slows healing. Inflammation can delay wound repair and recovering from treatments like laser and microneedling. And inflammation can affect mood, joint, your metabolism, brain, because it is systemic. Brain fog, joint pain, feeling like a moody, itchy dragon. Yep, inflammation might be behind that too. So, to summarize, what binds to water, HA is dropping, collagen makes our skin look plump, is plummeting, elastin is gone, so our skin is just hanging off our decaying bones that are eating themselves, fat pads, they are sliding down our faces, and our cellular turnover has carked it. Basically, we have old, shriveled, depleted cells that have no water, that won't fuck off our faces, our vaginas, for about 90 days, and inflammation is setting the whole freaking show on fire. It's like a Netflix horror series that we have to live through from 40 and beyond. Now, I totally understand if you stop listening. I freaking get it. Who the F wants to know all of this? Basically, our faces and our vaginas are ticking time bombs. But let's get specific about what and why this happens to the skin when estrogen pisses off. To keep it simple, estrogen receptors, ERs, are seen throughout the skin, with the highest density in the face, genital region, and the legs. And I can confirm from experience, these are absolutely the first places to throw in the towel and head south. Trust me. Estrogen receptors are predominantly seen on the skin, and the reduction in circulating estrogen is associated with a fall in ER expression. So, wait, what the fuck does that mean? Let's turn this into a dance party, because I all know you've been to dance parties. Estrogen receptors are scattered across your skin like hormonal Wi-Fi, especially strong in the face, genital, and legs. ER beta is the big player here, kind of like the DJ of your skin party. But when estrogen starts ghosting your system and not showing up, the music stops, the number and activity of those receptors go down. And what does this mean for the epidermis, dermis, and sebaceous glands that all make up parts of the skin? Well, the role of estrogen in the epidermis, wait for it, is still not fully researched. Shocker, right? Honestly, I think further research is required should be the tagline for every textbook freaking chapter on women's hormones or health, not included in clinical trials until 1993, might have something to do with it. But here's what we actually do know. Estrogen loss directly affects the epidermis and the sebaceous glands by increasing transepidermal water loss. As we said before, this means more water is leaving the skin, causing dryness and dehydration. Estrogen decline also reduces sebum oil production, so your skin's natural moisturizer takes a hit, causing dryness and tightness. Which is why, ladies, those of you who had oily skin in their teens and 20s tend to age better through menopause. Yes, ladies, those of you who lived with the constant blotting paper and shiny T-zones are now winning at the hydration game. And why is this? Because what stops water leaving the skin? Oil. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there, as then the collagen and elastin say, see you the F later. Estrogen also stimulates collagen and elastin production, proteins that maintain skin firmness and elasticity. You'll lose up to a third of your skin's collagen in the first 5 years after menopause. That's over 30%. Then another 2.1% per year after that for approximately the next 15 years or so. Ladies, this is why all of a sudden we feel like everything heads south. And this loss of collagen has clearly been demonstrated that rather than being related to chronological age, so the actual age we are, collagen loss is actually related to the post-menopausal age shift. Hormones. Freaking hormones. Shit, I know. And elastin, its reduction during menopause results in thinner and less elastic skin, which leads to sagginess, particularly around the jawline and the neckline, clinically manifesting itself as slack, creepy skin and wrinkles. Now, that's not all that happens. I know, you're thinking, shut the actual F up. I hear you, ladies. I'm in the same boat, remember? I'm just the bearer of bad news. Bone, fat, and fire. Bone loss is real. Estrogen helps regulate osteoblast cells, the ones that are responsible for eating bone. But without estrogen, osteoblast cells start breaking down bone faster than the osteoclast cells can rebuild it. I'm going to post a link in the show notes and I'll post it on social media and on our website. Yippee! Because that launches next week. Only took me a few months to get the domain DSN transferred. I mean, you can't rush these things. But check out the image. What you'll see is an x-ray of a woman's cheekbones and jawline in her 20s versus a woman in her 60s. What you can see is that the structure and volume of the facial bones have changed dramatically. Our bones shrink, and with that, everything starts sinking. Fabulous! I'm no bone expert, but hormones, including testosterone, are a big deal here. Then, to top it off, I'll post this image as well of a lady in her 60s and a lady in her 30s as our fat pads separate and descend, and we experience what is called malleolar fat pad descent. So cue jowls. Our skin is just hanging off our shriveled bones, whilst the luscious fat that we actually do freaking want fucks off and moves towards our jawlines. And don't even get me started about men. As our malleolar fat pads descend and give us jowls, for men it actually squares their jawline, making them more attractive. Males have a higher collagen density, which forms a tighter mesh. Their skin barrier function is better and holds more water because their stratum corneum, the outer layer of the skin, is 20% thicker, and they have bigger pores, which produce more sebum, which is oil. Those bastards get hotter. Think freaking George Clooney. And I'll post those pictures too, and you can thank me later for that, because who doesn't want to see pictures of George Clooney, even though the arsehole gets hotter with age? And then, ladies, there's inflammation and the other symptoms of skin and menopause. Who could forget about inflammation? It's still raging. And I am assuming that we all now know what inflammation does, right? Here are a few skin conditions that may present themselves during this time: acne and hair growth, dermatitis, psoriasis and pruritus, general dermatose, hair disorders and female patterned hair loss, hyperhidrosis, which is excessive sweating, unwanted hair growth, hyperpigmentation, which is the darkening spots on the skin, impaired wound healing, that freaking cut just doesn't heal now, increased sensitivity, anything from soaps to smells, rosacea, flushing, psoriasis, pigmentation. And what does this all equal? A freaking shit show. And can we turn back time? No, we can't. But if you have some dollars, I have seen some pretty darn amazing facelifts. But jokes aside, ladies, all hope isn't lost. For transepidermal water loss, the use of transepidermal estrogen has been demonstrated to reduce water loss and improve skin barrier function. The use of combined estrogen and progesterone as hormone replacement therapy has been associated with increased sebum production and skin surface lipids. However, sole use of estrogen is associated with a reduction in the number and size of sebaceous glands, so oil glands, and associated with the reduction in skin and sebum levels. So ask about a combination hormonal treatment here. There is also the use of HA serums to restore or rehydrate the skin. I find they are a necessity and part of every skincare routine, regardless of my client's age. My favorite is O Cosmetics 3D HA serum, as it has enzymes within the formulation that help open the skin cells and absorb HA, so it's not just sitting on the top of the skin. There are also hyaluronic acids that contain saccharide isomates. These are able to boost the production of our own HA, and of course there is filler. And what can we do for collagen and elastin? Drink lots of collagen drinks, right? No, if only it was that easy. Drinking collagen is great for your gut, but it is my belief that this is why it helps your skin. Collagen molecules are large and not easily absorbed by the skin cells. However, estrogen, as HRT, has been shown to increase dermal collagen levels to pre-menopausal states and can work prophylactically in preventing further collagen loss. An increase in collagen and dermal thickness has been demonstrated as early as 3 months after starting treatment. However, studies of the efficacy of HRT and elastin are conflicting, and the use of systematic estrogen does not appear to affect elastin. Damn it. Some studies have demonstrated an increase in fiber thickness and total elastin when applied topically. In saying this, I have put vaginal estrogen around my eyes, and I must say it does look rather radiant the following morning, and trust me, it's not just the Botox. Other treatments for collagen and elastin include vitamin C, as it acts as a cofactor for enzymes that are crucial in the synthesis of collagen. It also helps stabilize collagen molecules once it's formed. I love vitamin C and use it daily. It is highly unstable, so a powder mixed with HA, hyaluronic acid, is an amazing delivery route, or one of my favorite serums is Emergen-C serum. Other treatments or skin gym sessions, as I like to call them, can include microneedling. This creates small wounds in the skin, and as part of the healing process, we grow new collagen and elastin. Laser works on a similar pretense but involves light therapy and heat. And then we have high-intensity focused ultrasound, HIFU, which heats the skin, causing it to contract and creates thermal damage, which stimulates the production of collagen and elastin. This is a game changer in my clinic, and I do less filler because of it. And then we have our retinols. I'm a massive fan of tretinoin. It's one of the best studied and most effective medications for treating aging skin. It's derived from vitamin A and is most often used as a topical cream or gel. It works by boosting the production of new skin cells and shedding of the old skin cells, thus increasing your skin's cellular turnover rate. Tretinoin is part of a larger group of chemicals called retinoids, which have been proven useful in treating skin conditions, such as reducing acne, reducing dark spots, building collagen, treating fine lines and wrinkles. Tretinoin is FDA and TGA approved for the treatment of both acne in the US and photoaging, wrinkles, roughness, fine lines, and hyperpigmentation. When using them though, we want to avoid salicylic acid, AHAs, and other over-the-counter retinoids, as these all aid in stimulating new cell growth. It's very important that you educate yourself on how to use it. I'll pop my protocol in the show notes, online and on social. I like to mix tretinoin with HA serum to start and advise patients to start slowly and follow the instructions given by the manufacturer. Otherwise, if we go too hard and fast, similar to starting out at the gym for the first time, we might damage our cells. And what we can get is called a retinoic reaction. And then people think that their skin is too sensitive for retinols or tret. This generally is not the case. Trust me, it is a freaking game changer. You do not want 90-day-old skin cells on your skin. You want fresh 28-day ones like we had in our 20s. And tret is actually clinically researched and proven to do this. We should all be starting this in our 30s as prevention. Just don't use it if you're pregnant, as when you ingest high amounts of vitamin A, it has been linked to birth defects. However, this hasn't been proven topically, but no one is going to do those studies. And really, why risk it? Your skin is glowing during pregnancy anyway. Frickin' hormones. And what do we do for bone loss and fat pads? Well, basically, it's going to be facelifts, implants, fillers, and anchor threads. For bone loss, estrogen and testosterone can be beneficial, but I'm no hormonal doctor, nor am I a surgeon. If you have significant concern here, see your menopause doctor or a plastic surgeon. I know, there should be a pill. And inflammation, what can we do when we start getting flare-ups and itchiness? Now, I cannot begin to tell you how many clients I have coming in and telling me that they have sensitive skin because they are forever itchy, like all over itchy, especially when they shower. The common factor among these women is their age. They're 40 plus. And it's frustrating. They've seen their GPs, they're given cortisone cream. That doesn't work. They've been referred to a dermatologist and generally prescribed steroids again. That doesn't help either. Actually, it's just further drying their skin out. So they head back to the dermatologist and they're referred to an allergist. And probably they've spent $1,000 or more and 2 years of their lives. They come to me, generally for Botox, and I'm the one having the conversation with them about menopause and itchy skin. I refer them back to a menopause doctor. They start HRT and no itchiness. It's frustrating for my clients as well as me. And no word of a lie, I am seeing patients weekly with this. So if this is you, speak up, ladies. I'll arm you with the best knowledge, but it's up to you and your vaginas to use it. Now, acne and hair growth. Hormonal shifts can sometimes lead to acne or increased facial hair growth. There are some schools of thought that the balance between testosterone and estrogen is imbalanced, hence the acne breakouts, and yep, HRT can help with this. Dermatitis, a large observational study reported that eczema eruptions were most commonly reported dermatose, so skin condition, in perimenopause and menopausal women. One of the key pathophysiological players in dermatitis is the loss of barrier function with increased transepidermal loss. As estrogen therapy has been shown to reduce transepidermal water loss, this may be helpful. Now, hair disorders and female pattern hair loss is very common during menopause and can be devastating. Decreased estrogen and progesterone levels, along with increased androgens, disrupt the hair growth cycle. So you can have increased hair shedding, brittle or dull hair, widening of the part line, general thinning, especially near the crown, dry, itchy scalp, coarse or wiry hair texture, unexpected curly or wavy hair. Things to do is to get your iron and vitamin D levels checked, and protein plays a role here too. HRT can also be potentially helpful. Hyperhidrosis affects 30 to 80% of women, and its cause is unclear, but does respond to treatment with HRT. Botox is also highly effective for this and can last 18 to 14 months. And that bloody facial hair, HRT and laser can be effective. Hyperpigmentation, hormones and tretinoin are beneficial here. Is there anything tret can't do? Impaired wound healing, HRT has been shown to help with this. Rosacea, there is very little literature on the relationship between menopause and rosacea. However, menopausal flushing is known to exacerbate or even precipitate rosacea. Psoriasis. Findings of psoriasis flarings with menopause have not always been reproduced with large observational studies. In 2015, showing no significant changes in menopause, but watch this space. Pigmentation. There is a clear association with melasma and estrogen, demonstrated by its association with pregnancy and the oral contraception. There is no association with menopause. However, there are cases of melasma developing following treatment with HRT. Up to 80% of women with extrafacial melasma are postmenopausal. The role of hormones in this pathogenesis is unclear, and HRT is not recognized as a treatment option. Here we would look at laser and chemical peels. Now, skincare and its promises, they aren't all bullshit bells and whistles, but it is a head fuck. Skincare is like our diet. It doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be real. Skin treatments are like going to the gym. Eat McDonald's and go to the gym. You'll probably just maintain your weight. Eat well and go to the gym, and you'll optimize your health. The same goes for your skin. Here is what will support the aging face. The raw, the real, without the freaking Instagram facelift promises. Cleanser. I'm a massive fan of salicylic cleansers that increase cellular turnover. Don't use them with tretinoins, as both of these products are increasing cellular turnover, and it just could be too much for your skin. Avoid using foaming facial cleansers, as they contain sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, sodium laurethral sulfate, SLES. These can be drying and irritating, especially for sensitive skin, and basically they suck, so don't use them. Also avoid synthetic fragrances. Once again, they're fucked. Alcohol could strip the skin of its natural moisture, leading to dryness and irritation. However, in small doses, alcohol can be used as a preservative. Parabens, they're linked to cancer, so also fucked. Certain oils, while some oils are beneficial, avoiding heavy, pore-clogging oils like mineral oil, coconut oil, and petroleum. And please don't bathe your face in castor oil. I know it's all over TikTok and Insta, but it's just going to cause issues. Formaldehyde, toluene, phthalates, and triclosans, these are often found in synthetic products and have potential health concerns like cancer. So once again, these are fucked. Propyl glycol, a petroleum-based ingredient that can be irritating for some, and PEGs, these can be moisturizing but may be too heavy for some skin types. I love O Cosmetics Gentle Cleanser and their Salicylic Cleanser, but if using Tret, stick to the gentle one. HA serums, remember that increased transepidermal water loss. HAs that contain saccharide isomates are preferable as it boosts the body's own ability to produce HA. A lot of HAs on the market only hydrate the epidermis and not the dermis. Ones that I do love, such as Skinergy Skin Hyalase, Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. Otherwise, I really love the Before 10D Hyaluronic Acid Ampule Serum Concentrates. I'm also testing one that's been manufactured for my clients. Vitamin C brightens and helps protect from the sun and sunspots, as it's an antioxidant and actually gives a small SPF protection as well, but always wear sunscreen. I'm a massive fan of Synergy FSCC and Babor Vitamin C Radiant Ampule Serum Concentrates, or O Cosmetics Vitamin C Powder and Salicylic Acid, but this does contain salicylic acid, which can increase cellular turnover. Collagen and elastin boosting, niacinamide B3 is a staple, Majora extract, which makes fibroblasts more active and healthier, and peptide acyl tripeptide 2 has been shown to increase elastin and collagen production. Then we have retinol, vitamin A. We have talked about my love for this product. Increased cellular turnover. We all want more rejuvenated cells on our face. Only ever use it at night, as it can make our skin photosensitive. Moisturizers. Now, moisturizers trap the moisture in the skin. They don't actually rehydrate the skin. Cue L'Oreal ads would have us believe otherwise. That is what HA serum does. So moisturizer provides a barrier so the moisture cannot leave the skin. There is this product called Menopause. It rejuvenates menopausal skin by encouraging the skin to behave as if estrogen was still there, and it's non-hormonal. So basically its aim is to increase estrogen receptor cells on the face, which you now know why is so important. I've tried it and I absolutely love it. There are like 2 whole products in the range, which I love, plus an eye cream. All of it is awesome, especially when mixed with a simple skincare regime. Then we have sunscreen, ladies. Zinc-based. If you do nothing, just freaking wear sunscreen. If a patient comes into my clinic who has grown up in the UK, I literally cannot tell their age. They tend to chronologically age, not photo age. Generally, they look 10 to 20 years younger, I kid you not, than the regular Australian. It blows me away every time. It shows how much sun exposure damages our skin. So ladies, what I would do is give you a great list of all the products that I use, and I will post those on my socials, in the show notes, and on our website. I also love doing skin needling and HIFU treatments every 3 to 6 months, and I have really got to start utilizing my LED machine. And if you think all of this is bullshit, that's okay. Just freaking wear sunscreen.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 99, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Oh, never mind. You will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they've faded. But trust me, in 20 years, you look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future, or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind, the kind that blindsides you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Sing. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40. Maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much, or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can. Don't be afraid of it, or what other people think of it. It's the greatest instrument you'll ever own. Dance. Even if you have nowhere to do it but in your own living room. Read the directions, even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. Get to know your parents. You never know when they'll be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come and go, but with a precious few, you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle, because the older you get, the more you need the people you knew when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft. Travel. Accept certain inalienable truths. Prices will rise, politicians will philander, you too will get old. And when you do, you'll fantasize that when you were young, prices were reasonable, politicians were noble, and children respected their elders. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund. Maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse. But you never know when either one might run out. Don't mess too much with your hair, or by the time you're 40, it will look 85. Be careful whose advice you buy, but be patient with those who supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. But trust me on the sunscreen.
There you have it, my beautiful lady gardens. All of my advice about perimenopause and menopausal skin. Thank you again for listening. Stay hydrated, and remember, ladies, knowledge is power, power is wisdom, and a wise vagina is an informed. Please note that this podcast is for entertainment purposes and informational purposes only. The content shared is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for any medical concerns or before making any health-related decisions. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and guests, and it does not represent those of any medical organization or institution.
Trust me on the sunscreen.